Welcome to Mastering the Basics of Architectural Design Tools. In this video we will discuss about the essential tools for architectural design. For this video, I'll be using a new blank drawing which I have already opened. To access the AEC 3D architecture tools, I'll need to change my workspace to the drafting and annotation interface. I'll click on the workspace pull-down from the quick access toolbar and select it there. These tools are integrated into ActCAD itself, supporting features like walls, windows, roofs, floors, stairs, railings, and more for architects and engineers. You can find them under the AEC tab in the ribbon. By the way, I'll just be referring to this tab as AEC going forward. If you're a fan of using tool palettes, you can find most of the tools in the relevant AEC tabs. However, if you prefer to use ActCAD in a classic toolbar-based workspace, they are accessible. I'll quickly change to that workspace for you. The AEC toolbars aren't on by default, but I can easily access them by right-clicking anywhere in the menu area above the editor. Selecting Show to Ribbon, then click on AEC in Toolbar. Now you can select the tools like doors, windows, etc. I'll close the toolbar and return to the drafting and annotation interface from the workspace icon in the status bar. You can actually access the toolbars from any workspace, but they're a bit redundant when using the full ribbon. Let's look at each ribbon panel in the AEC tab. The first panel is your Draw panel. It contains tools to draw walls, doors, openings, windows, curtain walls, stairs, and railings. All of your 2D tools are in the Home or Draw tabs. When you draw in the AEC package, it's different than traditional drafting where you might draw parallel lines that represent a wall. Here, you're drawing an actual wall object. It knows what it's made of and what kinds of other objects it can host. For instance, a wall can host a window or a door. Notice to the left of the tools that I just mentioned, there is an icon for AEC Styles Manager. Much like the 2D tools that are managed by styles, such as text and dimensions, the AEC objects are managed by styles as well. We'll return to discuss AEC styles more in depth later. The next panel includes Planes tools. This is where you access roof and ceiling plane symbols to attach to your walls and use the Plane Solve tool to create your roof or ceiling planes. Next are your Levels tools. By default, the initial level is the first floor labeled as L01. The Levels Manager is where you can add or delete other levels. A level has settings applied to it. Use the Level Settings dialog to define or edit these. There's a handy pull-down menu to help you quickly change levels as you create your design. And this is Annotate tools in AEC which help quickly place dimensions like opening centers, opening edges, and wall intersections to make architectural drawings more accurate and readable. Next are a couple of conversion tools that can help you convert existing 2D geometry into walls or slabs. The next panel contains your section and elevation tools. We'll see more of these in an upcoming video. The IFC Tools panel has a validation tool along with a tool to convert files to IFC format. Before we get started working with the AEC tools, we'll need to become familiar with different ways to view our models in 3D. I'll start with the viewport tools in the upper left corner of our drawing editor. I'll click on the left side that reads Top. The menu will expand to display a section of orthographic projections such as left, right, and front. There are also two sections where you can choose an isometric projection, one from above and another from below. At the bottom, you can toggle between a parallel or a perspective projection. To demonstrate, I'll click on Southwest Isometric. Notice that the UCS icon spins into place. The cursor changes into its 3D form and even the navigation cube in the upper right is spun into the proper viewplane. To continue, I'll go back to the top view. Since I brought up the view cube, let's go there next. And then we'll return to the right side of the viewport controls. Normally displayed in its compact manner, it becomes fully visible and functional when you roll over it with your cursor. Outside of the cube itself, there are some icons. One is a house and another is a down arrow. You can set various settings with them, including designating the current view as your home view, which you can return to at any time by clicking on the house. The icon at the bottom that reads WCS allows quick access to any custom user coordinate systems you may have or the orthographic projections. As we saw in the viewport tools, the two curved arrows will rotate your view 90 degrees from the current Z-axis. And finally, in the middle, the cube has arrows around the edges, which provide quick access to the back, front, and sides. When you click on the main tile of each side, you'll go right to that view. Finally, each corner of the cube is a shortcut to view your model in the corresponding isometric projection. I'll click on the southwest isometric corner to duplicate what we saw using the viewport controls. I'm going to stay in this isometric view to show you the next viewing tool. But to see it best, I'll need some kind of 3D object. So, I'll quickly add a box. There's an easy way to access the orbit command that most people use. Hold down the Shift key on your keyboard and press down on the scroll wheel on your mouse. You are now in free orbit mode. Just move your mouse around to view the model. When you're satisfied with the view, release both buttons. Let's go back to the right side of the viewport tools. So far, we've viewed our box in 2D wireframe. When you click on the right side, you'll get a menu of other visual styles that are included with ActCAD's 3D environment. You can choose from conceptual, hidden, realistic, or regular wireframe. Changing the visual style of your model can often help you better visualize it as you work. You can find out more information, download a 15-day free trial, or purchase your own ActCAD license at www.actcad.com.